What is up, guys? This is Ninja Cracker here, bringing you a part 2 to my CTF guide video. This might end up being a small video series on my channel, but I don't know yet. Depends how many guides I can make on CTF, I guess. But today's guide is going to be on the specific class builds for each position in CTF. Now, if you didn't already know or you haven't seen my previous video, there are 3 main positions in CTF: offense, midfield, and defense. Then the link will be in the description to that video if you guys want to check that out before watching this video, which I would recommend, because this isn't going to be making much sense if you guys don't know what the positions do. But first off, let's start talking about offense. Offense, without a doubt, the best tactical abilities to run is stem and grapple. Mainly just because you can go so fast with each of these abilities, and they're just insane. But definitely, if you're playing offense, you should be either running stem or grapple. Keeping with tactical abilities, let's talk about the best for midfield. Midfield's very flexible, but I'd have to say the best ones would probably have to be Pulse Blade, Phase Shift, or Stem for midfield. Pulse Blade because you can reveal everybody on the map to your team in real time, which gives you a big advantage for your defense players and your offense players and just everybody in general. It definitely helps them out, and it helps them do their job better when you run Pulse Blade. Phase Shift keeps you alive longer and almost indefinitely. If you get good enough with Phase Shift, you can get it to where as soon as you start getting shot out, you can phase, turn around, and kill them, or kill whoever was attacking you. I mean, it's actually probably one of the most OP abilities in the game, Phase Shift. Stem is good for just about anything, or just good for just about any position. Say you're playing midfield and you need to return the flag, you need to pick up the flag. Stem's really good for that too. I mean, it takes very little skill to stem, pick up a flag, and try to run it back to base when you're playing midfield or when your flag is close to your base. But let's get into the best palette abilities for defense. Defense, I'm going to have to say, well, Stem again. Stem is good for every position if you haven't figured that out already. But also, for defense, I'm going to have to say Pulse Blade is good too. Cloak's not bad. In order from best defense tactical abilities, I'm going to have to say Pulse Blade, Stem. Phase Shift isn't bad either for defense, I'd have to say. It's definitely keeping you alive longer and keeping the base clear. Phase Shift definitely help you do that. But let's get into more of the class builds and what exactly the mods you should be running on your guns. Now, I'm not going to get into what guns you should run because that is your personal feel and whatever you want to run. But the mods are they will impact your game a great deal. And running the right mods can mean the difference between winning a gunfight, losing a gunfight, or winning a game and losing a game. Now, for every single position in CTF, I'm going to recommend these 2 mods, and that is going to be Speed Reload and Tactikill. Speed Reload, for obvious reasons. CTF is a very fast-paced game mode, and you're going to be wanting to reload your guns as fast as possible. And Tactikill, a lot of people don't realize how good Tactikill is. It's probably one of the most OP mods in the game, if not the best. Kills make your tactical ability come back faster. So you can stem into their base, kill 2 people, and almost instantly have your stem back. It's absolutely insane. I'd highly recommend it for every position in CTF. Keeping your tactical ability up and just having it always at the ready gives you a big advantage over any players that's not running it. For the kits, I'm gonna have to say mainly for the tier 1 kit, fast regen. That's good for just about every position. It makes your health regen a lot faster. You won't be one shot. You'll find that you'll die a lot less when you excuse me, I had a hiccup. You'll find that you die a lot less when you run fast regen because you'll be one shot a lot less. For the kit 2, I'm just going to recommend low profile. I believe it's called. It's whatever the stealth kit is that lets you radio Titans without being detected. That can help out a lot for stealing enemy batteries, to maybe give a friendly Titan, to maybe taxi the flag. I actually think I'm going to make a guide just on the best strategy for taxiing and what exactly taxiing is later. But let's get into the Titans for each position. Now, first off, I'm going to have to say for offense, Ronin is going to be probably the best if you get inside Ronin and actually try to dominate with him. If you just plan on leaving your Titan on Auto Titan, and you're running offense, I'm just going to recommend Legion with like Assault Chip, probably. Just because he has the most health, he's going to last the longest on the battlefield of all the Titans. And if you're going to leave him by himself, you might as well give him the most health, have the Titan with the most health. And Legion can really lock down an area with Assault Chip, actually. Well, he can kill pilots fairly easily. But if you're actually planning on getting in your Titan and doing a lot of damage with offense, Ronin is your best bet. I personally like to run Phase Reflex and Nuclear Eject when I run Ronin offense on CTF. Midfield, the best Titans have got to be either Tone or Ion. Tone, because his Sonar Pulse, just like the Pulse Blade, reveals all enemies to your team, and Tone's good for just locking down a position and just making sure, just holding map control. Tone's just really, really good at that. Now, kits on Tone, I'm going to recommend just probably Extra Dash or Overcore and any of his Tone-specific kits. They're all good. There's not a bad Tone-specific kit, trying to think. Bulk Walls, really good for locking down a position. Extra Missiles, can't go wrong with that. Extra Sonar Pulse, give you an extra lock. I mean, they're all really, really good kits for Tone. Ion's also really good for just holding map control or holding Titan control. I'm going to recommend Extra Tripwire for Ion and Extra Dash. Or you could run Overcore with the Splitter Lens if you're just playing midfield and trying to hold map control with Ion. If you didn't know, if you run Splitter Lens with Overcore, on Ion, and you split your lens at 2 Titans and hit them both at the same time, you almost instantly have your laser core. It's kind of hilarious how fast you can get it with that. But let's getting into defense. I'm going to recommend either Ion or North Star. Now, why is that? First off, Ion's tripwires are really, really good. They actually affect a lot larger of an area than what they actually just look like they affect. So if you're playing on a map that's open and you can actually get your tripwires on the flag, I'd recommend just constantly turning your tripwires out and putting them on the flag. Which is why I recommend 0-point tripwire, because your tripwires won't use up any of your energy and you can just turn them out as fast as they load in. But it's a really, really good defensive strategy. Ion with tripwires. Or Ion with 0-point tripwires and just turning out those tripwires on the flag. Also, Ion's really good against Ronin with his laser shot. Find that a lot of enemy offense players will be running Ronin. You can just take him down almost like a bar and a half of health if you hit both your laser shots and he doesn't have his sword block up. But getting into North Star for defensive, North Star is really good at keeping Titans at bay, and his cluster missile with the extra cluster kit. If you're playing a map where you cannot put tripwires on the flag as Ion, you can shoot a cluster missile on the flag. You can almost keep like 100% time, or a cluster missile on the flag 100% of the time. It's just very helpful. I'm gonna have to say that's the best Titans and the best class builds for CT. Oh, let's talk about the boost. I almost forgot about the boost. How did I forget about that? Probably number one, your everything boost. It's good for everything in every situation is amped weapons. The more gunfights you win, the better chance your team has of winning. Amped weapons, you can never go wrong. Pilot Sentry is actually really, really good on CTF if you put it in a good position where the enemies are traveling and try to run the flag routes. Extra battery is always really, really good, especially if your strategy is taxiing. Again, I think I'm going to make a how-to taxi guide, because taxiing is absolutely OP, and I see a lot of players just not taking advantage of it. Trying to think of what else the boost. So that's extra battery, amped weapons. I think there's a main really good boost for CTF. I mean, extra Titan turret, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I guess it'd be good if you're really getting dominated on, you guys weren't holding Titan control, it'd be good. But, mainly just going to recommend either amped weapons or Pilot Sentry, or extra battery boost for CTF boost. But I think that's about it for the class builds for CTF. This has been CTF Guide Part 2. Will there be a Part 3? I don't know. GG. A lot. What time is it now? Oh well, your time's different from my time. Hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I got another 2 hours in me.